everybody. Welcome back to another episode of ATOWN Rundown. I'm Joey, joined always by my favorite co-host, Jeremy. Let's crack open in these Miller Lights. Let's get into it.
Cheers.
Let's give congratulations where congratulations are due. Our Atlanta Hawks are looking fucking phenomenal, Jeremy. I couldn't be happier with this team. They're on a tear right now. What is it? 12 out of the last 14 games since the All-Star break. And you saw them against the Grizzlies. They absolutely dominated the Grizzlies, 146 to 107. I know what the controversy is. I know a lot of people want to say, yeah, you're on a win streak, but look at how you've played. Look who you've played, all the shit. I don't give a fuck, because we've said several times in this podcast, when you're a professional team playing another professional level team, any win streak is something to be happy about. I don't even care if it's a 5-game win streak. You need to be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And what the Hawks are doing for their organization, what the GM is doing, what the players are doing, they are breathing a new life into the city. This is exactly what we needed right now. You've got the Falcons doing what they're doing in the offseason, a lot of head scratchers, hoping it'll work out. But I feel like the Falcons are kind of in a situation where it's down the road and kind of experimenting right now. You got the Braves, who are in spring training, who are already hanging on by a thread. But you've got the Hawks doing this, the Hawks turning into not playoff contenders, but they're going to be a legit playoff team, I feel like. And even if they end up, losing out this season, they've still done something that you should be so proud of. And moving forward, when the draft comes, when the offseason comes, they are honestly right now the most exciting team in Atlanta sports because of what they're about to do and what they're about to become. They're on the verge of being, dare I say, a championship team. They're definitely a deep threat playoff team. And they're even getting to the point where I feel like they might be a team that you're kind of scared to see in the playoffs, no matter, depending on if you're a high seed or not. Like the Hawks are looking to be a scary playoff team to play against just because they're playing with so much tenacity right now. And this is exactly what the city of Atlanta needs. Like, if you're an Atlanta sports fan, you need to wholeheartedly embrace and wrap your arms around the Hawks, because what they are doing is adding the excitement to Atlanta sports that we've needed for a very long time.
Yeah, man. No, this is probably the most excited I've been about an Atlanta sports team, like, other than like the beginning of a season, like, obviously like the Falcons start, and if you win first like 3 out of 4 games or whatever, like that, of course that's very exciting. But this, like, being so close to the postseason, and the fact that, like, we were talking about them almost, like they were on life support, at least, like around the Trae Young trade.
Yeah.
And the way that,
let's be honest though, it did get really sketchy there for a second. It was worrisome.
It did.
But then I've never seen a team pull their head out of their ass better than the Atlanta Hawks have done in the past couple of months.
Yeah, and I kind of, I didn't. I'm not gonna say I called it, but like I was talking.
You did.
Yeah. I was talking a month ago that the schedule is going to get a lot easier, and that there's a chance where they could rattle off, 8 out of 10, or 10 out of 14 or something. They've done a little bit better than that, which is great. We talk about the 11-game win streak got snapped in Houston, unfortunately. And everyone talked about how those 11 games we didn't really play anybody other than, let's say, like the Orlando Magic.
Well, I will say,
but here's the thing, like, dude, we bludgeoned a lot of those teams.
Yes,
out of all of those, we won by double digits, except for one. We won by 9, and it was against the fucking Nets.
And before we went to play the Rockets, you and I were both saying we got to give the Rockets their due. The Rockets look scary right now. So of course,
the Rockets are much better defensive team than we had seen in that whole stretch.
Yeah.
Then you go play Golden State and take care of business, albeit they were kind of wounded too, the wounded Warriors. That no Steph Curry and a bunch of other guys that were out. Did see something funny. The fans were heckling Draymond, which I honestly don't heckle Draymond. Why?
Because the way he gives it back to you is going to suck, because he gave it back to us in a really shitty way.
Well, yeah, he goes, he's like, man, he's like looking up at the Raptors. He's like, man, I don't see any banners, man.
Yeah.
Where are the banners?
I'm
like, what are you talking about, man? Don't you see 1958 St. Louis Hawks up there,
Louis,
motherfucker?
Man. We haven't had a championship since we were the St. Louis Hawks. But I do want to say, to your point, like, everyone has talked about how it's an easy schedule. Personally, and this may be me playing devil's advocate, I see an easy schedule being beneficial to you, because cool, you can go on a tear, you can get everything in rhythm, you can get warmed up, you can get these win streaks going. All that
you can rest players.
You can rest players, and all that does is raise the morale and show to these players like, hey, we believe in ourselves. We can actually do it. So when you go to the next, hard competitor, like we got to play the Pistons on Wednesday, it's going to be a hard game, even though they are down their star player with a collapsed lung. You can't take away anything. Like these easy games, these easy wins, they still bring confidence to your team. So in all honesty, this couldn't have happened at a better moment for the Hawks, because I don't feel like these have been cheap wins, cheap victories. I feel like you're seeing them play at their best so that they can take that on to the next level, because we've been doing this without Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson's hurt.
Right.
We haven't played Kuminga in every single one of these wins. So like,
right. But we've won every game that Kuminga has played.
That is very true.
Even when he didn't play well, he didn't play well against Golden State. He looked a little nervous.
Yeah.
But then last night he fucking crushed it against the Grizzlies. So
yeah. Well, let's talk about that game against the Grizzlies, because you had Nickeil Alexander-Walker with 28 points.
Crazy.
10 for 15. He led the team in scoring. Okongwu had 16 points. Kuminga had 16 points and 8 rebounds. So it's not like he had a bad night.
Yeah. No, he was great.
You even had CJ McCollum with 15 points and 3.9 assists. And then you had Dyson Daniels with 12 points and 5 rebounds. That is a collective team of hard work.
Yeah, you got most of your guys are in most of your guys in double digits. I think at one point in the game where it was like we had 11 players come in and each one of them had scored.
Bro, do you want to talk about their bench depth? Because they provided 74 bench points to keep the pressure high throughout the entire game.
Oh, they were great, man. I mean, Landale was great. Gabe Vincent was great. Reese Shea, I thought, had a great game.
And how about defense, Jeremy? 21 forced turnovers. 21.
Yeah, well, considering Memphis gives up about 50 a game, I kind of expected that. Not literally 50, but they give up a lot. We kind of, the beginning of that game looked a little bit scarier. I mean, I knew that we were going to beat the shit out of them, but I always have that thing where it's like, when you're on a hot streak like this, and like every game matters at this point, where they are in the standings. We should go ahead and say right now, at least on Tuesday, they're sitting at number 6 in the standings, and they're full game ahead of 7 and 8, and then they're half game
right under
behind
Toronto.
Yeah, they're half game behind Toronto for number 5. But every game counts here, and you have to win the ones that you can win, because the schedule is going to get a lot harder. But as we were playing this game, the first quarter, man, we were giving up turnovers. I think we gave up like 6 or 7 turnovers in the first quarter or something. And but then it was like they just locked in. And next thing you know, you look up in the third and we're up by almost 40.
But there is something, I will say, as an Atlanta fan, there is something that I feel like the Falcons have kind of cursed me with. Every time we have like a big win like this, and you've seen it happen to the Falcons,
you start looking ahead on the schedule.
You start looking ahead, and then you go and you play, the Detroit Pistons, and you might get your ass whipped. Like we've seen it happen to Atlanta sports teams time and time again. But I feel like the Hawks, I don't see the Hawks being in an ass whipped scenario for the rest of the season. Maybe a loss here and there, maybe 2 losses, maybe 3 losses, but I don't see us getting our asses whipped again for the rest of the season.
No, man. And if you want, we can, I'm really looking forward to this Detroit game, because even though they're without Cade, and I think Detroit is in trouble if Cade can't come back in that first round of the playoffs, because if they get somebody that sneaks in, could even be us. Like if we fall back far enough in the standings to where we get the second play-in spot and they have to play us without Cade, like for the whole series, because I'm pretty sure the way it works is that they have to declare you like on the playoff roster for that series. Like if they're saying he needs another week, then they'll probably leave him off until the second round. Well, that means that they play the entire round, even if it goes 7 games without him. That could be scary for them. So, and some of the other teams that are up there, I don't know, like the Hornets have gotten really hot this season. They not so much like, and same thing with Orlando. The 2 of those teams kind of not that scary here at the end of the season, seems like. But if they catch fire again, like they could really, ruin Detroit's amazing season. But us going up there, it's like, it's still going to be a tough challenge because it's on the road. We got the 11-game win streak at home, which is great. We finally turned it around at home. That was a big part of like why the season wasn't going so well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we just couldn't win games at home. But anyways, we're on the road, and Detroit still plays great defense, and they still got big guys, and they play very physical. We got big guys too. Hopefully, Jalen's going to play. He's been out with the shoulder injury. Yeah. Which, the way that Quinn Snyder was talking about it.
Inflammation, is that what they're calling it?
Yeah.
Shoulder inflammation?
Yeah, I think so. When Quinn Snyder was talking about it the other day, it was like, oh, we could see him back as early as Monday. Well, then they look at the Grizzlies and their injury report, and they're like, you know what? Like, let's give Jalen
him in.
Why bring him in? For this one, we need him. I really hope that they can play him.
You absolutely need him.
But if it's serious and they're a little worried about it, then don't. Because we got more tough games coming up. In fact, let's go ahead and look forward here. So we got the Pistons on Wednesday. Then we have the Celtics on the road on Friday, which, we know Celtics, how tough they are.
Yeah, how
We've
tough they
beaten them
can
once
be.
already. We've beaten them once already,
How
though.
tough they can be, and
Right.
that's what I'm getting at.
They beat our ass, we beat their ass, and we did them on each other's courts. If we can split with the Celtics, because we got them twice, that'd be great. So, anyways, we got Celtics Friday, then Kings Saturday at home. I feel really good about that one. But it's all these are ones that you got to win. Then you got Celtics at home on Monday. Okay, again, if we can win one out of these two against the Celtics,
that might be a fun game to go to. Maybe we should try to go to that.
Maybe we should. We might talk about it. But dude, Saturday the Kings game, bro. That is ladies' night.
Oh yeah, dude. Let's go to the Kings game, bro. Because first of all, I can guarantee we're gonna win that game, and our wives will have a really good time.
Well, dude, and my wife's a huge Dyson Daniels fan.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's just she thinks he's cute, and I think it's just
fuck
because
it, dude.
he's got an Australian accent. Bro. Yeah. Let's just do that.
Yeah, why not?
I'll have to fight Dyson Daniels.
No, Miller Lite's going to hook us up with some courtside tickets.
Yeah,
we've been giving them all this free press, And
they're like, "Look, guys, we can't pay you just yet, but we're going to give you courtside tickets."
Yeah, if you want to pay me with courtside tickets, I'm fine with that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, even just one time. Yeah. Actually, you got to do it every season.
But unfortunately, I think the Hawks are a Michelob Ultra team, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we'll pour our Miller Lights into the Michelob Ultras and whatever. Anyways, about the ladies' night thing, when they were doing the Magic City promos, they were using CJ McCollum on it, and everyone was giving CJ McCollum shit, and he's like, "I didn't ask to be the face of this promotion. I'm not in charge of this shit."
Yeah.
So for ladies' night, they put Dyson as the face of the promotion. And someone asked him about it, like, so, like famously CJ had an opinion on like him being the face for the Magic City night. And we all had a laugh about that. He's like, "How do you feel about being the face for ladies night?" And Dyson said something like, "Seems appropriate," which I thought was cool. Anyway, so after ladies night, we got the Celtics at home. Then we have the Magic on the road, Wednesday, April 1st. That one we need to win because they're kind of on our ass. Yeah. But we own the tiebreaker with them. We've won 3 out of the 4 games already. Let's go ahead and get the sweep and get rid of the Magic. We shouldn't have to worry about them after that. Well, then we've got. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, I'm just going to run through the last couple games here. Then we have the Nets in Brooklyn. I ain't too worried about that. That's on a Friday. Then we got the Knicks at home. That's one to circle because that could be a team that you see in the playoffs.
And that's what I was getting into.
And then you've got Cleveland on a home and home for the next 2 games.
Could also, because I'm going to break down some playoff scenarios real quick.
And then we're going to end the season in Miami against the Heat, which is another team you need to beat. But let's
you need
hopefully
to beat Miami.
Hopefully shit's all
Orlando.
wrapped up by then. Right now, I think Miami's beaten us 3 times. So tiebreaker with them would not be good. That would not work in our favor. But as far as Orlando, we'd get it. Philadelphia, we'd get it. And then the Hornets, I think they've got tiebreaker on us, but I'm not really expecting them to catch us.
No, I'm not either. I mean, they could, but I really don't foresee it happening. But if we want to talk about the playoffs, there are some scenarios that I looked into, and we mentioned the Knicks and we mentioned the Cavaliers, and here's the reason why. The first scenario is that the Hawks stay in the 6th seed, and that's the most likely. And if we do that, our opponent would be the 3rd seed New York Knicks. And this is honestly the current projected matchup. The Hawks have split their season series with the Knicks so far 1-1, and with one final regular season matchup, it looks like it could stay that way. But then there's another scenario which we rise to the 5th seed. And if we overtake Toronto, we would likely face Cleveland. The Raptors currently hold the tiebreaker over the Hawks, making it a difficult climb. But if that does happen, then we would be facing the Cavaliers in the first round. Now there's even a 3rd scenario. Now here is we fall to the play-in and we fall to 7th or 8th seed. And in that scenario, we would go against either the 76ers or the Orlando Magic. So that means if the Hawks slide to 7th or 8th, they must play a high-stakes 7-8 game. The winner of this game typically faces the Boston Celtics. We could possibly play the Hornets too, right? If we were 7 and they were 10. The Hornets are also in this scenario as well. So you got the 76ers, the Magic, and the Hornets. But the winner of this would probably face the Boston Celtics in the first round.
Right, which you don't want to do.
So that's why the Hawks' next game, which is against the Pistons, is going to be a really big road test. So we got to look forward to that. But talking about the playoffs, looking at these scenarios, I know who I would prefer to play against, and there's a very specific reason. But first, I want to hear from you. Who would you like to see the most in this first round?
Man, I mean, I'm kind of torn. If you know, I'm looking at the 6th or the 5th pick. That's slot. That's where I have a really good feeling we're going to make that. I think number one out of everybody, I don't want to play the Celtics in the first round.
No,
too stacked. No. You know, they got home court. I don't want to do that. Pistons, like we kind of talked about a little bit earlier, like with Cade more than likely being out. That one, okay, I could see us having a chance, even though I think that they're very good. We'll see what they look like on Wednesday. And then I would love to beat the shit out of the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Cavs are big. And James Harden, you know, he's settled in now, but like doesn't really scare me. Not in a playoff scenario. I honestly, man, I think I'd kind of want to take the Knicks because I don't think they really have anybody that can stop Jalen Johnson.
Okay. So my answer is more on a personal level. I absolutely want to play the Knicks. And the reason why is I love the rivalry that has become the Hawks and the Knicks the past couple of years.
Yeah.
We'll never forget the fuck Trae Young chants. We'll never forget it's quiet as fucking here. And even though Trae Young no longer plays for us, it still did create a heated rivalry. And in sports, for some reason, there's always been a North and South rivalry. There's always been
Atlanta. Beat them again, dude. Oh, that feels so good.
Atlanta is always going to hate New York when it comes to sports. As a child born in Atlanta, it was ingrained in my spirit. You hate the New York Mets. No reason given to me, no explanation. It's just you cheer for the Braves. You hate the New York Mets with everything in you. I'm like, why? Because I said so. That's why. And then ironically, I would marry into a family of New York Mets fans, and that's how life goes. But it's just something I love rivalries. I love sports rivalries. I love that we have a city rivalry. And honestly, it's always been there, but it got more heated these past couple of years. I mean, in baseball, it's been there for as long as I can remember. Like we've like I was just saying, like
Chipper Jones owned the Mets.
We grew up being told to hate the Mets, hate the Yankees, no reason except for because we hate them. Like that's it. That's just it. Right. That's end of story. So no, that's the main reason I would love to see the Knicks. And also, like, I feel like I hate to say this, but I feel like we kind of need the Knicks as like a warm up and to see what's going to happen to the Cavaliers, to see what's going to happen to Boston and the rest of the series, because I don't want to play them right out the gate. I just don't. Like, if I'm being honest, I just don't want to play those teams right out of the gate. So that's where I stand on
here's another scenario though, is like, I definitely don't want to play the Celtics out of the gate. If you got past the Knicks, there is a scenario that whoever Detroit plays, they beat Detroit, and then the Celtics would get whoever beat Detroit because they'd be the lower seed, and then we would get to play, you know, someone like the Cavs or something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of your path to the Eastern Conference Finals, is something like that happening.
Right.
I don't want to run into Boston early at all, especially now that they've got Tatum back. Mm-hmm. I don't want to run into them at all, period. That's a team where I would be like, I'd be a little scared. But, you know, I will take myself back to 2021. Like, I felt that way about the 76ers, and we beat them in 7 games.
But I want to say that wholeheartedly. Like, right now in these playoffs, and the only team that really does give me, like, real worry is the Celtics. Like, I'm truly worried about facing the Celtics. But like you said,
I think everyone else, we got a shot.
Like you said, I was worried about facing the 76ers, and we beat them. Mm-hmm. I was worried about playing the Bucks, and if Trae Young never stepped on the ref's foot, we probably would have beat them, you know?
Yeah, they didn't scare me that much, especially after that first game, and then, you know, it just didn't happen for us because of unforeseen things. But another thing that you said earlier is that we're a team nobody wants to see in the playoffs.
No.
Like, we're healthy right now. I know Jalen's dealing with this shoulder thing, but I think
we're
that's
able
kind
to
of
rest
management.
Him, and that's the thing too. Like, we're able to rest him.
I think that's management. I think, like, with the Knicks, like Jalen Brunson being like their biggest, you know, part of their firepower. Like, I think Dyson Daniels locks him up, and if they want to switch him off of Dyson Daniels, Nikhil's going to lock him up. They're going to slow him down a lot, or they're only going to run through him. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is big enough to stop Jalen Johnson. I think OG Anunoby's really good, but I don't think that he's going to be able to stop Jalen Johnson. I feel like that's probably the best scenario for us.
Yeah.
Cavaliers are a little bit bigger. So I kind of feel like that just matchup wise would be a little bit harder. But they're scoring, like, I guess you got Donovan Mitchell, which, again, you put Dyson on him, and anybody's best scorer, we have Dyson.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams don't have Dyson. Like the Celtics kind of do. They got Jaylen Brown, like he can lock you down. They got Derek White. He can lock you down. But these other teams, they don't really have that defensively, So I think that kind of gives us an advantage if we come in healthy. Plus we have the fucking wild card of Kuminga. Like when he's feeling good, and I think even after that Golden State game, you could see him kind of limping a little bit, still dealing with that like hip thing or whatever. He or quad or whatever it is. But when he's feeling good, dude, like he is electric and unstoppable. Like if he's got a full head of steam, man, like it's hard to get him. Even in that Memphis game, like he was getting steals. He was just making quick, like very athletic moves and great like basketball like mind, just thinking about like, oh, Nikhil's leaking out over here, and he's got two guys surrounding him. He's got the ball up like this. And then, gets it right to him. Nikhil goes down, left-hand dunk, posterizes this guy. So, like, he's doing a lot of different things right now that are really good. Dyson right now, man, is, I know you say he had like 12 points last night, but that's the thing that I look at is that he's had a couple games in a row where he's hit multiple threes. Yeah. Whereas a month ago, it's like couldn't trust him beyond the arc at all. And if he can hit 2 or 3 threes a night for us heading into the playoffs, like he's going to be a massive weapon.
Yeah.
He's really become like the engine that runs this offense.
The whole team right now, their perimeter shooting is great. They're clicking 46% from 3-point range is what they did against Memphis. So moving forward,
that's Memphis though. That's Memphis. Let's see what they do against Detroit. But Memphis, but Nikhil's been shooting the lights out of the ball.
That means that the ability's there. No matter who you do it against, that means that the ability's there.
You got guys who can do it. Yeah, you got Nikhil who's been shooting threes very well over the last couple of weeks. Then you got CJ who's found the 3-point shot over the last month. And then if you got Jaylen out there, man, it's just like there's a lot of threats out there on offense. Yeah, and the defense they've been playing, like I love that we went from a team that was good at fast breaks, but the defense wasn't good enough to like have fast breaks be your main winning point. Mm-hmm. And then after the trade deadline, Onsi Soleil goes and just flips half the fucking team. And now everybody is, between 6'8" and 6'10" at every position. And it's like, I was listening to Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce talk about the Hawks today. And Paul Pierce or Kevin Garnett was saying like, man, I watch them. It's like, they're all so big. It's like, and they can switch around and play positionless basketball. Like, and he's thinking like, if I'm on the court, I don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Mm-hmm. Like who's their primary ball handler right now? Who's their big? Who's their shooting guard? Like everyone is so able to switch around and move around. And like even with Jalen Johnson being out, having Mo Gay come in and replace him, like he's been great lately. He's playing great defense and something I love about Mo Gay, dude. Like if anybody gets into any kind of scuffle, like he is so ready to fucking fight.
Oh yeah.
Even if it has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? Like he's going to get up there and get in somebody's face. So like he's your playoff goon that's going to go and fucking shoulder check somebody when they're acting up.
Yeah.
Which the Knicks, historically did to us
in the playoffs. Yeah. And in today's game, that's kind of the only place you really see that aggressive 90s style basketball played is in the playoffs. And you still see it. It kind of takes that long into the season to get it going, but once the playoffs are in full throttle, you're going to see that. You're going to see some scrummage. You're going to see some aggressiveness, and like he's going to be the perfect guy to have on our side when that shit goes down.
Oh yeah, and something we talked about a couple weeks ago is like what this team needs, and I think that this is going to be like a team that's going to stick together for a little while because there's already rumors out there about Kuminga and the Hawks declining his team option next year and just signing him to a new deal. Mm-hmm. Which I think would be a good idea. The kid's only 23, man.
Yeah, you need to keep him. You
like what's he going to develop into?
But if you want to talk about this, I hinted earlier. I said, and I stand by it. Moving forward, no matter how this season ends, the Hawks are the most exciting team in Atlanta sports right now. As we speak, they absolutely are. And moving forward into the draft, it's going to be even more exciting because you and I were talking about this before the show started. The Hawks right now are 40-33. Which they're in a unique position where they're currently a playoff team, but they could still land a top 10 draft pick in the 2026 NBA draft. This is possible because of the unprotected first round pick from the Pelicans. And then you got what we did with the Bucks. So now when it comes to the lottery, we get the best of like whoever gets higher in the lottery, we get their pick, which is a crazy scenario. You were explaining it to me earlier. It took a lot of understanding because I'm a dumb when it comes. Because the thing is, the NFL draft is so simplified compared to the NBA draft.
The last day of the season, you basically know what it is.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, the Pelican selection is likely going to be a top 10. The projected slot, you could get sixth to eighth overall due to the Pelican struggles. And then the lottery odds as of this month, the pick approximately has a 9% chance of the number one overall selection. And then you also have this Cavaliers scenario where we traded DeAndre Hunter, so we get something from the Cavs. Like, we could potentially get 3 first-round picks in this draft, and that's fucking wild for the Hawks.
I think it's only 2. So you get the best of New Orleans and Milwaukee.
Situation.
We get the Spurs situation.
Situation.
We're confusing the fuck out of everybody. So first of all, you have the 2 lottery picks that we're pretty certain are going to be lottery picks, which are or at least lottery ping pong balls, right? We got Milwaukee and New Orleans. The best of those goes to us. Only one of them, though. So the best of those goes to us. Then we've got our actual pick belongs to the Spurs, but the Cavaliers are in that too. So basically, if we have the highest pick, Spurs get that, and then if the Cavaliers then get the lowest pick out of the 3 of us, so we get the middle pick out of those 2. So
we're like in middle limbo.
You still got 2 first rounders. Now, here's a scenario, and those will be decided outside of the lottery. If you have, let's say, we end up with like the Cavaliers pick. Let's say it's like 23, and then we get like pick number 4, and we say our guy's number 3, or our guy's number 2 that we want to get. We could package a trade where it's like, hey, we'll give you our, number 4 pick and our number 24 pick if you let us move up to 2. You know what I mean? Like, that's a scenario.
Yeah, and that's just fucking wild, dude.
It is wild, but people have done it. So, like having these kinds of draft assets are crazy, and it's like, I love the new GM, Onzi Soleil. Like, Landry Fields, when he was here, I wasn't crazy about, like, I didn't love the DeJounte Murray trade. And then before that, like, even with Travis Slank, like, we traded a lot to go up in the draft to get DeAndre Hunter, which didn't really turn out, even though I'm wearing a Hunter jersey, only because I fucking love this yellow jersey.
Dude, I still have my Trae Young yellow jersey. I love it.
Nice. Yeah, and I gotta get a new jersey. I think I'm gonna stop buying player jerseys and just get my own customs. But
yeah, and the thing is, I'm not wearing that Trae Young jersey again until he retires, because I have this thing like,
yeah. If he's playing for another team, you can't wear it at the game.
Before, like, I will wear jerseys of other teams. Like, I have a Toronto jersey, I have things like that, but I won't wear it until that player retires. Like, if you're actively competing against my team, I'm not wearing your jersey.
Exactly.
You can't deny the old school John Stockton jerseys are cool, and old school Vince Carter Toronto Raptors jerseys are cool. Like, if it's a cool jersey, I'll wear it. I'm just not going to wear it while you're playing against my team.
Or while you're even playing in the league, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm not going to do it. Yeah. Same here. Yeah, I won't wear my Trae Young stuff until he's retired as well. Hopefully he retires a Hawk, just ceremoniously,
really cool. Yeah.
But anyways, right? But what Onzi Soleil did was basically the nightmare that was the DeJounte Murray trade. He traded him and then got that New Orleans, or he traded him and got Dyson Daniels out of that. And then this shit with the in last year's draft trading, basically New Orleans wanted to move up. So we were like, okay, yeah, you can move up, but you're going to have to give us an unprotected pick for next year. Okay. And they're like, well, it's a pick swap with Milwaukee. And we're like, yeah, but that's the only way we're going to do it. And they said, okay. So that was a steal. We still ended up getting Asa Newell out of it, who I really like. He's in the G League right now, but like, he's played with us a lot this year.
Now, you were telling me this scenario where, like, if one of them were to make the playoffs, then we would just straight up get their draft pick. Like the team that didn't,
No,
the team
no,
that
no.
didn't make it to the playoffs, we would just get their lottery pick. Is that how it would happen?
Exactly.
Yes,
Because that
that's what
would
I'm
be the
saying.
higher pick. Yeah. It's
Yes.
just the higher pick. So like even if they both made it to the playoffs and let's say Milwaukee and New Orleans played each other in the finals, we would just get the better of those two picks. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The fact that they're both going to be in the lottery, more than likely,
So
I think the Pelicans are like
the
basically
whole
a game
lottery
away from
thing
getting
doesn't
eliminated.
matter. It wouldn't matter if they were in the lottery or not. We would just get whoever the better pick would be.
Correct.
Okay, I got you.
That's how the pick swap works. Um, so we got that, and so we got 2 first rounders coming out of this draft. A lot of good guys coming out of this draft. You and I were talking about it earlier. I know you got some guys you got your eyes on, and or at least you got some draft needs that
Right,
you're
but I
thinking
think
about.
we both have our eyes on one specific guy. I think we are both eyeing Cameron Boozer, and I think every fucking organization in the league is eyeing Cameron Boozer because why wouldn't you? Because he's a 6'9", 250-pound power forward. He plays for Duke. His wingspan is 7 feet. He averages 22 points a game, 10 rebounds a game, 4 assists a game. His field goal percentage is 56, 37% 3-point, and 77% free throw. Why wouldn't you want him? He's the ACC Player of the Year. He got the Oscar Robertson Trophy. And in high school, he was the Gatorade National Player of the Year. In international play, he's a 2-time gold medalist for Team USA in the 2023 FIBA Under-16 and the 2024 FIBA Under-17. And he earned MVP in both tournaments. So why would you not eye this guy? Like, straight up.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. No, I think he's a game changer. I'd love to have him. A little bit of questions about like how he would fit in with Jalen Johnson because they basically play the same position, and I think he's not quite big enough to be a center. You know,
No.
And look, and I love Okongwu, but he's also like undersized. Now I think he plays bigger than he is. And you know, maybe Boozer could be the same way in the NBA after a couple years. And you got to remember, everybody that comes out of college, man, like you gotta give them some time to get big.
If you're 6'9" and 250, if you play aggressive enough, you can absolutely play center. Absolutely.
For sure. That's kind of how Okongwu is. It's like he just kind of like he's just mean as fuck. Like
just
there.
Be a dick. Just go out there and be a dick.
Yeah. No, yeah, you just play bigger than you are.
Or you're just blessed to be, you know, Steve Adams, who's a fucking monster of a man.
Sure.
You know?
But I mean, I don't think as a rookie he was like that.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, it takes everybody
Rookies
a while to get some muscle on them, you know?
Yeah.
To get their weight up, to get the game
I'm
out
hoping Zachary Risacher, like I'm hoping that he like beefs up a little bit. I think that's gonna take his game to another level, man. Because he like his footwork and his defense and all that stuff is
but the
very
thing
good.
Is, every good player had to do it. I mean, you watch The Last Dance. Jordan had to hit the weight room. Like Michael Jordan had to hit the weight room to get more
he was getting his ass beat by the
his ass beat. You know, and you go out there and you're a non-aggressive center, you're gonna get your ass beat. Hit the fucking weight room. Get big. Why do you think Shaq was so good? Because he was a monster of a man. He was benching like 320 and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, who else you got on your draft lookout?
So I did tell you earlier, out of all the good players that there are, of course, Cameron Boozer. I think the Hawks, personally, my personal opinion, I think we need to target a point guard, like a pure point guard. And the reason being, right now you got Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels kind of splitting the role of point guard. And I know you got Alexander Walker.
Point guard, point forward, yeah.
Yeah, and I know you got Alexander Walker who can play the position. But you also need a guy out there you need both sides. You need a bench player and a starter who can both play point guard, and they're purely point guards. So there are some point guards I've been targeting. Darren Peterson from Kansas. He's kind of considered the best possible choice. He's 6'6". They claim that he's Anthony Edwards like, and in a lot of mock drafts I've seen, people got him going within the first 3 picks.
Yeah, but also like with him, it's like he's not like pure point guard like Trae Young or like John Wall or something.
No,
you know what I mean? He's kind of like
you're not going to see that every day either.
He's kind of like a Nickeil Alexander-Walker like guard, you know. But very fucking good. I would love to have him. He can run an offense, you know.
Yep. You also got this guy from Houston. His name's Kingston Flemings. He's an explosive freshman right now. Now he is a freshman, but he's also emerged as a top 5 lock, even though he's a freshman. He's known for his downhill speed. He's got high basketball IQ, and he's been compared to Ja Morant with a little bit more refined shooting than him.
And hopefully not as stupid.
But the thing is,
sorry, Ja.
His defensive potential, I feel like, would really align with Quinn Snyder's emphasis on a more balanced defensive-minded backcourt. So do keep your eye out for Kingston Flemings. I think he would fit into the Hawks very well. And then the last guy I got is Darius Acuff Jr. from Arkansas, and he's been frequently linked to the Hawks as of March 2026 mock drafts. He's 6'3", 190 pounds. He's arguably the most NBA ready guard due to his physical strength and aggressive style. And he's been playing under John Capillary, who's shown growth as a primary factor. Calipari,
old Kentucky coach. Yeah. Not anymore,
but he's
though.
But it makes him a safe option to lead into an NBA offense almost immediately. So
John Calipari's put out a lot of good point guards into the NBA, man. John Wall, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Tons of guys. I did
want to mention Mikel Brown Jr. from Louisville. But he's kind of the lowest on my radar. But those other guys I mentioned, I do have my eye on. Now, I'm not saying the Hawks have to go out and draft a point guard to make me happy. I feel like they're going to make a good choice, and they potentially have 2 times in the first round to do so. So, but I am really excited because, like I said, with everything going on this season, with a playoff push that I genuinely feel we're going to make, and this very exciting offseason we're about to go into, like the Hawks are breathing new life into Atlanta sports, and it's a wave I am enjoying riding right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, and we got 10 games left. Like, there's definitely still room to fuck this up. But I don't think they will. I think Quinn Snyder's got them playing well. I think the team's bought in fully. Even Buddy Hield, who's barely gotten any minutes at all. In fact, he hadn't scored, and I think that his role is he's such a veteran, and he came over in the Golden State deal with Kuminga, just kind of as a filler for the trade. And I think the kind of understanding with him is he doesn't have to play, and he might play another season. We'll see. He's in his 30s now, but everyone on the team has been saying that Buddy Hield has brought the team together since he got here. Yeah. So when you start to hear stories like that with teams, and you start to see this camaraderie with them, especially with so many new guys, it's you kind of get the feeling something special is going on. I think that I think this could be one of those seasons where you go into the playoffs hot, and who knows what happens, man. Maybe some Cinderella shit happens. We've seen it before with the Hawks. Yeah. Completely different team, different coach, all that. But even that season, just to make some parallels to it, is we fired our coach in the middle of the season, and everything changed. Well, we traded our star franchise player in the middle of the season this year, and everything changed. And then we start hearing about these new guys coming in like Kuminga and even Buddy Hield, just being a locker room guy that's kind of getting everyone together. But what I was going to say about Buddy Hield is kind of funny because they haven't played him at all since he got here. But against Golden State, the fans were chanting at the end of the game. It was kind of garbage time. They're like, Buddy Hield, Buddy Hield. So Buddy Hield said, he goes up to the coach. He's like, I'll go in. And he's like, all right, get in there, man. He goes out there and he has not scored a point for the Hawks yet. Well, he gets a steal right at the very end, and he runs for a fast break and dunks it, but it's after the buzzer. He didn't even get his first points until they put him in garbage time against the Grizzlies last night. And I think that he just came in and just be like, hey, man, I'm going to go and get some cardio. You know what I'm saying? The game was way over.
The game was over in the third, dude.
The game was way over in the third. Oh, I know, dude. I got bored watching it. It's I was so I'm in that mode where it's I'm so excited to watch the Hawks every night that they're on. And then it's at halftime, I go take a shower and I come back and I'm early in the third, and I'm like, man, I don't even have to pay attention anymore. Yeah. And me and my wife, sometimes we'll do a Hawks win shot at the end of the night if we both don't have to get up early the next day. And I was like, I could do a Hawks win shot right now, but I don't know. I just don't feel like it. Yeah, it didn't feel like yeah, we won. It was just yeah, of course we won. Fuck these guys.
But yeah, do you have anybody in mind specifically that you're eyeing in the draft?
Man, not exactly specifically in mind. I would like to keep our size advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was the guard you were talking about? You said he was 6'3". As soon as you said that, I was just like, and I know you said he's NBA ready. I think it was a cuff with Arkansas. Yeah, that'd be helpful. But dude, we gotta be big, man. We got to be big. Like that's the way the NBA is going.
You're looking at guys like that guy from BYU. What is his name? AJ DeBansta, who's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
and it's
he's
like
a small forward.
we could use another small forward. Like Reese Shea's a small forward. You know, like we could use another guy like him. Maybe a guy that's even better than him. You know, like I would totally go for that. It looks like he's going to go pretty high up, and people were telling me for a while that he was going to go high.
Oh, he's projected top 4.
And then I think Arizona's got a guy that was really good, but I'm not really seeing him on here.
Oh, there's that guy from Illinois,
Brandon Burries.
Wagler.
I've seen in some mock stuff going to us, but you know, and then there was another guy you said that like you know, they comped him to Anthony Edwards. Well, how's that going to work when we get Anthony Edwards next year? Okay,
if that's a if. That's a if.
Can you imagine this team though? Dude, if we do get him in the next 2 years,
if we got Anthony Edwards and 2 first-round picks next year, can you? Oh my fucking god,
dude, be fucking crazy. Well, you know, you get the picks this year, and hopefully you make a playoff run. And Anthony Edwards is going to be like he's going to be sitting in Minnesota being like, guys, I want out.
That's Darren Peterson. It's the first guy I mentioned, Darren Peterson.
Okay, yeah.
He's very much.
They're talking about him going number 1,
top 4.
Right.
But I mean, hey, dude, if
that's the kid from Kansas,
we can pick him. Yeah, the kid from Kansas, dude,
yeah.
Darren Peterson. So keep your eye on him. Keaton Wagler, and then you got Patrick and Ngogba. I hate that I butcher these names, but NBA names sometimes can be so hard. But he's a center. He's a center. He is the center from Duke. And they say that he's a high and sync big man, and he's noted for passing and rim protection.
Bro, we could use a center.
Yeah, and they got him projected as going, man, but like they got him projected as going late first. So if our second first round pick is a late first and he's still there, why not?
That's something to keep an eye on, man, because I do think having a center, because like and you can get a young center and bring him in. Like
now, here's my thing too.
Fine, man. I mean, he's more than fine. I think he's really good. I love him, and he's a cultivated talent that we drafted. But you know, like we don't really have an answer to come behind him. Like we even went out and got Porzingis, thinking that like Okongwu's going to move to the bench. Well, they felt like Porzingis was a better option starting than Okongwu at the beginning of the year. They were wrong. And even when Porzingis got a little bit healthier and started playing again, he was coming off the bench, I think, for probably the first time in his career.
Well, I will agree with you in saying if we draft a good center, we can keep letting Jalen and Dyson split the role of point guard because it's been effective, you know? And if you just get a good, effective big man center out there, then that's good
Not to mention you got CJ, you know? Like, since they moved CJ into the starting lineup and moved Reese Shea to the bench, I feel like both players have really benefited from that. Yeah. Like CJ's gotten a lot better and is gelling with everyone better. And then Reese Shea, like, kind of is just fitting better into this role. You know, like he's coming out, he's giving a spark off the bench. He's playing good defense. He's playing athletic. He's going for it. He's not getting punked by guys under the rim. He's blocking shots. I'm really happy with moving him to the bench, and I'm happy to see that that's not discouraging him from trying to get better. And I'm also happy that still Quinn Snyder's playing Corey Kispert. I feel like Corey Kispert shouldn't have any minutes if Reese Shea's available and if everyone else is available. Okay. But like anytime I see Kispert out there and Reese Shea is not, I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like Reese Shea needs these minutes. Yeah. Like he needs to keep developing. He's going to be a good NBA player. He's not going to live up to the number 1 overall that everyone's like, oh, he's the worst number 1 overall pick in history. He's not. But he's not going to be Anthony Edwards. He's not going to be that superstar guy. He's not going to be Wembanyama. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'd like to see that happen. Quinn Snyder's still doing this nightmare lineup of Landale, Kispert, and McCollum out there together. It doesn't work. He's got to stop doing that, man. He's got to stop doing that. It seems like he tries it every game, then he goes, oh, shit, that ain't working. It's like, bro, just stop doing it.
Yeah, and I hope we don't do
that. You can play all 3 of those guys, just not at the same time.
I just hope we don't go into that. If we fix that one little problem going into Detroit, going into the rest of the season, going into the playoffs, I think we'll be just fine.
I think you can guarantee yourself at least one more win than you should have if you stop fucking doing that. Yeah. But I think, look, with the Hawks' remaining schedule, we went over it already. And honestly, I see them getting the 6th pick. They're either going to be 6 or they're going to be top of the play-in. Mm-hmm. Which again, not sure you want to be because you got to play Boston if you're top of the play-in. So it's like, got to get number 6. 5 could happen, and I'd be very happy if we got 5. But Toronto's got a really easy schedule here at the end. Like all their easiest games are like pretty much all that's left. So it's gonna be hard to catch them unless we just catch fire. Like if we win the last 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, possibly 7 out of 10, we could get 5. But I feel like if you win the last 7 out of 10, you're a shoo-in for number 6.
Absolutely. Now, let's are you ready to transition into the Hawks? The Falcons? Because let's talk about this pure B. Robinson backfield now, because now we have 2 B. Robinsons on the team. If you guys didn't know,
B. Robinson.
We signed Brian Robinson Jr., who is going to be RB2 for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know if you ever saw the meme, but earlier this year or earlier last season, when fantasy football was happening and all the drafts are going on, a guy very confidently drafted B. Robinson, running back, smacked it on the board with full confidence, only to then realize that he had drafted Brian Robinson and not Bijan Robinson. And that is a meme that has lived with me for a while, which made me...
You told me that before the show, dude. I can't believe
I will say that what's funny about this, too, is we signed Brian Robinson for about $1 million more than we signed Tua Tagovailoa, which is very funny to me. But I will say, even with that meme I mentioned, he is a pure backup running back. And I'm going over these stats for him for his last season with San Francisco. And as a backup running back, he's actually not that bad. He had 400 yards, 92 carries. His average was 4.3 yards per carry. He had 2 touchdowns. And on special teams, he averaged 29.1 yards on kick return coverage. Not bad.
Is he a kick returner?
No. On I guess it was like kick return,
he's a special teamer. Okay,
yeah, it says high end kick return utility, 13 returns. So yeah, he is a kick returner.
Oh shit! Okay, nice. Well, yeah, we need another one of those.
They're calling him a bulldozer role. They describe him as a bulldozer. He excels in short yardage, which we saw that with the 4 yards per carry. They say he's pretty versatile and pretty durable. And in all honesty, like, losing Tyler Algier, this is the kind of RB2 that you need. And I think
sounds like it fits the exact role that we lose.
Exactly.
I feel probably not as good as Algier.
No. And I don't think you can be unless
there's
you can
some drop off there. But yeah,
I don't see anything showing his catching stats. It doesn't look like he's a catching back. But I mean, I feel like with all the mockery aside from that meme that went viral, like if you look at him as a pure backup running back, he fits the mold.
Someone might fuck that up in the fantasy draft next year too, because they're going to see B. Robinson Falcons.
Yeah, it's going to happen all over again.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean, in all honesty, I'm not bummed on this. Like, this seems like I feel like what the Falcons are doing right now, especially in the front office, you're getting a lot of standardized football position players who know their role and go out there and play their position. That's what we're getting right now. And that's not a bad strategy to have building a football team by any means at all.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, man. And I really like this signing because even before this came through today, I was thinking about, like, what are we going to do about RB2? And it kind of felt like, I think the obvious thing that people would say is like, well, you go and you draft RB2. And it's like,
you don't have to.
What round, though? It's like a second rounder on that. Like, I feel like the price is too high.
If you're looking for a backup running back, don't fucking waste a draft pick when you don't have to. Go seek him out in free agency. Go talk to other teams. Like, you can find a RB2 who's going to be a pure RB2, and you can afford it.
And again, we're talking about RB2 as well. It's like, an RB2 is very, very important, like, to what I'm thinking Stefanski's offense is going to be. Especially behind Bijan, it's like you don't want to work his ass like into the ground. Now, you want him getting a lot of carries, but
especially with the quarterback room we have right now, we're going to be heavily dependent on our running backs next season.
Yeah,
there might be some three run in a row downs that we see. So you might need Bijan for 2 and Brian for 1. Like, it could very possibly happen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and the way I feel about the draft, especially because you don't have a first rounder. You don't necessarily want to use your second rounder on that, but like if you're talking about later round draft picks getting a running back, which I'd be okay with, but that guy should be your RB3 that you develop.
He should be your fullback.
You know what I mean?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like you have a guy that you're going to be developing. He's not gonna have a massive role in this offense. RB2 always has a nice role in the offense, and going with a veteran that I think you can depend on. Like this guy's what, 26 or 27 years old.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
he's also a former Alabama player, which kind of fits in with
Right.
Tua, John Hand, and Christian Harris. So
Right. Yeah. So you got some Tide boys in there, some
I
Tide
got some Tide
Pods.
boys.
We call them the Tide
Yep.
Pod, all of them together. Anyways, I'll kill myself after that joke. Don't worry.
Sorry, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, yeah, no, I really like that signing. Then you go and you trade for Sidney Brown, which we traded a 4th round and a 5th round pick, got him, and basically all we did was swap 4th and 5th round picks with the Eagles. So we moved down a little bit in those rounds, and then got a good safety out of it, which begs the question. And I've been seeing some headlines, some rumors going around. A team like the Eagles, I'm not sure why, and probably this probably comes from some rumors of like when they're talking about trading a safety. Eagles might, or someone else might want Jesse Bates from this new regime, and we could rebuild a little bit of draft capital with that. I mean, you got Sidney Brown now, you got Xavier Watts.
How do you feel?
Like, would you be willing to do that?
That's what I was going to point out. Yeah, yes, I would
for the right picks.
I feel
yeah,
like
I
you
would
can get some good capital for Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
I do. I feel like he's still worth a lot.
Yeah, we're trying to plug holes and kind of build up like this team or build on this team. You know what I mean? And like doing that through the draft and Ian Cunningham, like very interested in what this first draft's going to be like, albeit that it's not going to have all of the picks. And again, he said this is the last time we're not going to have a first round pick, which I think is kind of weird to say that in public because you want to at least like dangle that first round pick on people if you have a bad season, as far as like trades and stuff. But his words, he's not going to do that again. So I'm not really going to judge him too hard on this draft. But I want to see basically. I want to see what 2 drafts from him looks like.
Yeah,
what are you going to be able to get out of this, and what's really left? Like, we still need another cornerback. Probably need some offensive line depth.
How about guys that catch the ball? Those guys.
We need more receivers.
Yeah, those guys.
Those guys. Yeah, what are they? They receive. The wide receivers. Yeah. So yeah, we should probably get another wide receiver.
We can get all the quarterbacks in the world. If they got nobody to throw it to, what's the matter?
Right. Well, I think they got guys to throw it to. I mean, you got Zacchaeus, you got Jahan Dotson, and you got Drake London. You need a little bit more than that. You got Kyle Pitts. Yep. You got Austin Hooper. So it's starting to come together a little bit. I'm starting to see it. I heard a little bit of like Tagovailoa doing some press today. Sounded like he's in the right mindset. Said that he's basically that he's more than happy to compete for the job. It's like
obviously I was throwing some shade when I said the receiver thing because I do feel like it goes back to what I was saying about signing Brian Robinson. Like you're signing and you're attracting and getting people that can do their job. And everybody you just listed as receiver and as tight end, there are people, maybe not Kyle Pitts, but there are people who can do their job.
Kyle Pitts on the right day.
Yeah, on the right day against Tampa.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts against Tampa.
Yes. Luckily, we play them twice.
Yeah, you got it. But no,
and Baker Mayfield can't wait to play against Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, I know.
If you remember.
I know. But but no, my thing is like what you're seeing is the Falcons build a lot of guys who can go out there and do their job. So even though they're not, the superstar names that you see everybody wearing the jersey of, they could turn into that. They could turn into your clutch player. They could turn into your Old Faithful. And next thing you know, we've got a winning team of a bunch of guys who just go out there and do their job,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Austin Hooper coming home, like, he's already going to be a fan favorite.
Hooper's one of my favorite tight ends we've had.
I was about to say, he's already going to be a fan favorite because we all loved him when he was here. And
Pro Bowl player when he was here.
That's right. And then him just being like just a solid tight end that can do the whole position, which we talked about a lot.
Position
as far
player.
As like something
in every
that the
sport
Falcons
we talk about, I talk about position player. If you play a position, play your
that role.
position. Play your position.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we've exhausted the Kyle Pitts. Like, please stop playing like a wide receiver.
I'm over it.
Like,
and I'm going to tell you, until he gives me a reason to next season, I'm no longer going to talk shit about Kyle Pitts until you give me another reason to. But as of right now, just please know that, like, because you got Austin Hooper, you can play a little bit of receiver now, because now you got a tight
Right.
end who knows how to play tight end and who's going to go out there and block for you when you're in play action and all those other
Yep.
situations where you
And
have
you
two tight ends out
you're
there.
gonna be doing a lot of 2 tight end sets like
Because
Stefanski
one
says he
thing I
wants to do.
loved about Austin Hooper is he is nitty gritty. He will block the fuck out of a
Hell yeah.
motherfucker.
He's a big
Like, I
boy.
love that. He's huge. What is he, like,
Yeah.
6'6" and close to 300? Like, he's a big boy.
Yeah. No, he's your extra offensive lineman who can catch the ball.
Yeah,
You
he's
know?
a big motherfucker, dude.
Yeah. Especially, and I haven't seen him in a couple of years, but like when he was with us, he was big.
Mhm.
Like he's older now. And I mean, not
So you only get
ain't
bigger.
too old.
Yeah, when NFL players get older, they only get bigger.
When you're talking about those positions, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, no, I'm liking what we're doing. And then we signed a third quarterback. I don't know if you saw Trevor Siemian, who's was drafted by the Broncos. He had some starting gigs with the Broncos.
I remember him in Denver. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like we did talk about, like, you have two very injury prone quarterbacks. Like, who's the third guy? We know who the third guy is now. Does it excite me or anything? No, but like, okay, it's a guy we know who knows how to play the fucking position. So, you got, I think the picture's starting to form, at least, What?
Yeah, to be completely accurate, Austin Hooper is 6'4". Austin Hooper is 6'4" and 254. So he is still very much a big old boy.
That's big. Yeah, he ain't close to 300, but I mean, he's over the 250 mark.
But speaking on Trevor Siemian, my ADHD kicked in. But speaking of Trevor Siemian, I agree with everything you just said about him, and it could be a factor where you do.
Hopefully, we don't see him this season. Yeah,
hopefully we don't, but it could be a factor where you do. And what better QB3 to have than somebody who has been a starting quarterback before? It's not the best case scenario to play him, but it's still better than having a rookie QB3 that you have to be forced to play.
Yeah, hopefully we only see him in the preseason. To be honest,
what if he just goes out there and he's like fucking incredible in preseason?
That would be insane, and everyone's like, put in Trevor Siemian. If we're all screaming that from the stands, that'd be wild.
If those words ever come out of my mouth, like I would be thunderstruck.
Well, then we'll also be. It sounds like we'll be in a very bad place if we're screaming that. That means everything that had to go wrong, or everything we were worried about was happening.
Hey, you wanna speak about things going wrong? Let's talk about the Braves right now.
Perfect segue. Yes,
because we are only in spring training, and we've been riddled with injuries. We're supposed to have our home opener, or we are having our home opener this Friday, March 27th against the Kansas City Royals. Guess who will not be playing? That'll be Spencer Strider, because we have now lost our ace, Spencer Strider, to an injury once again. I'm about to go over these lists of injuries, and I will also tell you when they're expected to return.
These all happened during, or these all happened.
These all happened before the first fucking game. These all happened in the last
first game. Exactly. Yeah.
So you got Spencer Strider, who's got a left oblique strain, and he's expected to return the second half of April, which isn't too bad, but he's been scratched from the final spring training start, and the Braves are now hoping for a couple of weeks of absence. Sean Murphy, he's got the right hip tear. He's expected to return in May of 2026. Right now, he is recovering from surgery. He's expected to be back the first half of May. Then you got Ha-Sung Kim, who tore a finger tendon, but they are saying that he may also be back in May. He's the new shortstop, and he slipped on ice in January and tore a tendon in his finger. What luck.
We're cursed.
What luck. Then you got Hurston Waldrop, who has elbow inflammation, and they don't have a month that he'll return. They just say sometime in the summer of 2026. He underwent surgery in February to remove loose bodies from his elbow. Loose bodies can mean a number of things, but he had some in his
bone spurs elbow. Or something.
Pretty well. Speaking of bone spurs, you got Schwellenbach, who has elbow bone spurs, who also is listed to return in the summer of 2026. He underwent surgery in February, and he's projected for a June or July return. And then you got Joey Wentz, Old Joey tore his ACL, and he will not be back until 2027. He is gone for the entire 2026 season after the spring training collision that he suffered. So now you got a decimated rotation depth with Strider, Waldrop, Schwallenbach.
You're forgetting one more guy that is not going to play this season.
Oh, we've already mentioned that motherfucker
but he's on the list.
Who loves to take steroids, but is thin as a fucking sheet of paper. I don't understand how that works.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, Jerickson Profar, add him to the list.
So now our rotation is decimated. You got Strider, Waldrop, Schwallenbach, and Wentz all sidelines. The Braves have no fucking margin for error. And now the rotation is going to heavily rely on Chris Sale, Reynaldo Lopez, and Grant Holmes to carry the load early. Like they are carrying the fucking load. And with that happening in baseball, it's only a matter of time before these guys get worn out, you know? Like you can't carry a load as a starting pitcher in baseball. You need filler. Like even Greg, you never saw Maddox or Glavine or Smoltz play 2 games in a row because you can't, because you're out there throwing 80 pitches in a row. Do you understand what that does to your shoulder and your elbow? That's why you have a deep bullpen. And guess what? We no longer have one, but we do have emergency starters. We are expected to turn to Martin Perez and Jose Suarez. They're going to fill gaps in rotation for the first month of the season. Now, they're probably
not going to play 6 innings.
No, they're not going to play 6 innings, but they're emergency starters. They got to fill the gap. We're more than likely going to lose those games. Sorry, but not sorry. That's just the truth of the matter. You're more than likely going to get 4 to 5 runs off of these guys. 3 to 4, maybe 5 runs off of these guys. There is a silver lining in the lineup, though. In contrast to the pitching staff, the core offense is healthy. Acuna is reportedly fully healthy, and he's coming off of that Venezuela win in the World Baseball Classic. So, his morale's high. He's happy. You see videos of him and Albies having a good time. Basically, everybody but the pitching staff is healthy. But in baseball, your pitching staff is more often than not the most important piece of the puzzle. Austin Riley has showed a spring surge after his core surgery in 2025. But we do have an early schedule pressure. The Braves are going to play 13 straight days to open the regular season, which will immediately put the stress on our bullpen. Immediately.
Yeah, because at that point you can't start flipping the rotation and be like, okay, we have 2 days off or we have a day off.
Choice.
Like
it's 13 days in a row. It's 2 weeks straight.
Your starter's got to have 5 days off. Period.
Yeah. So now for this season opener, Friday, March 27th against the Royals, I do have a projected starting lineup just to tell you what we're probably looking at. You got Ronald Acuna, who's going to be playing, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Marcel. Nope, we got rid of Marcel, so he's not going to be on there.
Nope, he's with the Pirates.
But, Michael Harris should be playing. But then when it comes to the rotation, when it comes to the rotation, it seems like Chris Sale is going to be starting Friday. But then you got to look ahead to what you do, because you only got Chris Sale, Reynaldo Lopez, Bryce Elder, Bryce Elder.
But it's like Bryce Elder, I was talking about, like when these injuries started popping up, I was like, fuck, Bryce Elder's going to be our 5th starter. Get ready for that.
It looks
now
like
he's your 3rd starter.
It looks like he's going to be starting game 4 too. But then you got to look ahead at what you do. That means that you start Chris Sale on Friday, and then 4 days later, he's more than likely going to have to start again. And then in a 13-game span, you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are going to be exhausted by the time we get our first game off.
There's a solution to this, and it's go sign another pitcher. Lucas Giolito is at home waiting to sign with a team. Go spend the money and get him. I know for some reason Anthopoulos, and I know that's
Jesse
probably not
Chavez
his
when you need him, dude.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
I
know. I would totally take Jesse Chavez. But Lucas Giolito, you go get him, you spend some fucking money and to fill that hole right now. And then in a couple months, you get Schwellenbach back, you got Strider back, you got Chris Sale, and you got Lucas Giolito. And it's like, now you have a stacked pitching lineup. You go into a series and you got to face 3 of those guys, like, you're looking good. Like, I don't know why the Braves are so tight with the fucking money sometimes, especially when it comes to pitching. Like, we were supposed to go out and spend money on pitching last year. We got a deal on Chris Sale. We got a nice deal on Chris Sale, and then we extended him a little bit. which
I
is
also
great.
thought that
But
with what happened with Spencer Strider, and then after he became healthy again, you saw his fastball declining. And the
yeah,
thing is, like, as
I
much as I hate
knew
it,
an injury was about to pop up with him. I knew it.
well,
There
as
was
much as I hate it, in baseball you can't be a one-trick pony. Like, you cannot just throw fastball after fastball after fastball. And it worked for him for his first couple of seasons, but now your fastball's declining. Now your 102 went down to about a 96. So where's your curveball? Where's your slider? Where's your changeup? Oh, you never took the time to actually learn how to be efficient with those.
he's got some of that, but like, yeah, but he has got to take
No,
that shit
he's
to
not
the next
efficient
level.
with it. And every time he throws one of those, he either throws it outside or somebody gets a hit off of him. It may not always be a home run. It may be easy out, but somebody hits those ball. And for the longest time, his unhittable ball was the fastball. Now people can hit his fastball because it sunk from 102 down to like 96. So when is it time to start looking
I wonder if
to
that has
replace
anything to
Spencer Strider?
do. I wonder if that has anything to do with the oblique, though. Like,
Absolutely, it has
you
everything
know what I
to
mean?
do
Like,
with the
I
oblique,
feel like
January.
that's what I'm saying is like I felt like there was an injury that was going to pop up with him soon.
Yeah.
And it was like, maybe he was thinking he was just going to work through it and it wasn't that big of a deal. And then it was just like, it ain't going away. And they're like, okay, well, then we got to sit you, dude. We got to put you on the IL.
No, and my thing is too, like, as much as I love Spencer Strider, if the one thing we need you to do, you're becoming incapable of doing because you've just torn your body to shit doing it constantly, when is it time to look elsewhere? When is it time to put him up for sale,
I don't think you do that just yet, but like when you have positions like this that are open and you lose Joey Wentz for the whole season, like go out and replace him.
You absolutely have to replace Joey Wentz.
And Giolito's like not even the only guy you can get, but like he's the guy that makes the most sense.
Can you imagine how much
he's a frontline starter? Go get him.
Can you imagine how much pressure Walt Weiss is under in his first season as manager for the Atlanta Braves?
I know, dude. And as I was listening to you talk like about like what they're going to do with the rotation, it's like I don't know Walt Weiss's like strategy. I don't know it yet. Like, is he going to try and do a bullpen game? Is he going to have a starter kind of just do a 3-inning game?
You can't do the bullpen game now.
You really can't. Like, it's just not stacked like it used to be, But you got to do something. Like, somebody's got to throw the fucking ball.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
And as much as I love Chris Sale, it's not like we can play him every day. This isn't a video game. This is real life baseball where, like, if you pitch a 6-inning game, you need to rest for 5 fucking days.
I was about to say, yeah, he needs at least 4 days off. Period. Everybody does. Every starting pitcher does. Like, unless you're going to start calling, I don't even know what the prospects look like. I'm about to start looking at them. I mean, I should have through the spring training, but the Hawks have been doing so much, and I'm the Hawks correspondent, so I haven't really been looking at the Braves farm system so much this year. But it's like, if you got some guys like that you can call up from AAA, those are the guys that come in, and you just have a running shuttle coming from Gwinnett to Truist Park. Every week we're getting a new guy and we're giving him a shot. You know what I mean? Like, that seems like the most logical thing to do if you're not going to go out and spend money on another frontline starter.
Yeah.
And when I say frontline, I mean 1, 2, 3, like those 3 guys. Because right now it's like Reynaldo Lopez, like I trust him. I'd rather him be like the 3rd guy. But, you got him as your second starter.
Okay.
Like,
speaking of call-ups, I just pulled it up, and if everything on Google is correct, these prospects are currently at or near the AAA level that could be summoned if the patchwork rotation of Chris Sale, Reynaldo Lopez, and Grant Holmes requires reinforcements. That's what it prefaces says. So there's this guy named J.R. Ritchie, who is a right-handed pitcher, and
where's he at? AA?
He's in AAA. He rose to AAA with a 2.6 ERA, and he has been dominant in the spring, posting a 3.3 ERA and striking out 8 in 8 innings. So that sounds good.
Okay, all right, give that guy a shot.
Okay,
who's next?
This is not a good ERA. I don't like this at all. Didier Fuentes. He had a MLB debut in 2025 with a 13.8 ERA.
But that was a year ago.
That was a year ago.
He went back to the minors.
But is he in AAA? It's saying that he has looked phenomenal in spring training, featuring a nearly spotless record with no hits or walks allowed in his early appearances. While he is currently planned to open the season in the bullpen, he remains a top candidate for a rotation spot later this year.
Okay, so he's already with the team. He's already on the 60-man roster.
Yeah, but dude, if you had a 13 ERA last year, how long does it take you to fucking unravel into
13
that
ERA
again?
in one game, dude.
I'm just
That doesn't
saying,
mean he gave
man.
up 13 runs, by the way. It's like, what if he had 3 innings and they were just really bad? You know what I mean?
I got to look at both sides of the coin on that one. That just stands out to me as like, okay,
Okay,
you
but
know
if
what I
he's
mean?
doing well in spring training, and that was in 2025, it sounds like he wasn't here for very long. I'll do some research on that, but these are all guys we got to look at as like that. That's probably going to be your answer of what's going to happen here.
There's
You can't
one
dig into your
last
bullpen to do
guy.
this shit.
No, you can't. There's one last guy who's being listed as a potential call up. His name is Owen Murphy. He's a right-handed pitcher. It says that he just had a successful return from Tommy John surgery in late 2025. It
Okay.
says he's a candidate for a 2026 promotion. He features a high spin 91 to 92 mile an hour fastball and is projected as a middle of the rotation starter. Listen, dude, if you just came back from Tommy John surgery, I don't want you throwing at 92 miles an hour. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I don't want that.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, but you know, that's what I think they're going to have to do. They're going to have to start digging into the farm, and you know, this is what these guys are looking for. Like, I guarantee you, all these guys that are coming up through AAA, and probably some guys in AA that are getting talked to right now by the staff. They're just like, hey, man,
Mhm.
the Braves need that. Like, look at what's happening to their pitching staff. We're gonna we want to elevate you to AAA quickly, hoping that by May you can get maybe get a call up.
Oh,
You
hey,
know,
wait, listen to this guy. The Braves may also tap into their minor league system for power armed relief or multi-inning depth. There's this guy named Hayden Harris, who's a left-handed pitcher, says that he's a standout who appeared in 3 MLB games in 2025. He's been excellent this spring with a 1.8 ERA and 12 strikeouts in 5 innings.
okay.
Okay.
All right, yeah. But so I guess he was doing bullpen work in spring training.
It looks like it. Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, like, these are guys you're gonna have to lean on at this point in the season. I will say, just to shift from the pitching conversation, the hitting for this team through spring training looks nice.
Great. It's been great.
It looks really
Been great.
nice. You know,
Yes.
the problem
I do
is that
always
if you have to
say this-
start, if you have to lean on this bullpen like so hard early on, you're going to get to a point where Chris Sale has an amazing 6 innings, and your bullpen's so wore out from the other bullshit that happened the days before that they collapse and you lose these games. But
that's what I was about to say, and you basically just said it for me. Like, when it comes to baseball, it's like you can only do so much with your bats. What is your pitcher going to allow them to do with theirs? You know what I'm saying?
But you got Ronald. Sounds like he's gonna be starting the season hitting leadoff, which I told you, and I said on the show.
Now, let me ask you
I
this,
like
as a
the
Braves
most
fan, as a Braves fan, especially with what's happened. If let's say Ronald Acuna was going to come out in the beginning of the season and tear his ACL, would we look at that as a sign of good luck because of what happened last time?
I don't like to talk like that, but I'd be on here making parallels in July after the trade deadline, or in August at the trade deadline. I'd be saying like, well, remember the last time?
Because correct me if I'm
the
wrong.
World Series.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time it happened, wasn't our bullpen beat the shit and Ronald Acuna tore his ACL and we gave up on the season and then we won the World Series?
That is true. That is true.
So, Ronnie, if you're listening to me.
No, I need Ronald. 150 games this year, man, or 145. Give me that, man. Like, that'd be fucking awesome.
At least 130.
Yeah, 130. I'd feel good about that. But the Braves don't look like world beaters right now. But I feel like baseball, it's not always about that. Like,
dude, world beater. That's such a good hardcore name. Dude,
it is.
World beater.
Cut that out. Don't let anyone know that. We need that band name. That is a fucking great one. But no, I mean, like, everyone's gonna be looking at the Dodgers and teams like that. Like, I want to see what the Mariners do again this year. Their success that seemed to, I wasn't paying attention to the Mariners for the last decade.
I wasn't paying attention to them until I was forced to.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm happy to see them do that. But who knows? We always have surprise teams that come out. I feel like the Braves have enough stars on the team that, like, if they can plug these holes with the pitching, man, like, and you got trades and you got call ups
Mm-hmm.
that can all fix those things. And then some of these guys coming back from injury. That's what I was saying about the Lucas Giolito thing. It's like get him to plug a hole now, and then look how strong you're going to be in June when these guys come back and you have him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like that could be a fucking nice team.
That's another silver lining. All these guys are projected to be back, by end of
Right.
July latest.
Right.
The only thing that scares me
But you
about
don't want
that,
to be fighting for your life in July.
that's another thing. You don't want to be fighting for your life. And another thing that scares me is like, what are we going to have to come back from by then, potentially? The worst case
You don't want to
scenario.
be 10
And
games
also,
back from the
like,
division lead
is it just going to
when
be?
these
Is it
guys come
just going to
back.
be? Is it just going to be a bullpen swap? Like, hey, all these guys that had to play for you, they're exhausted now. Now you got to come in, and now we're trading exhausted for just recovering. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season, dude. It's a lot of games. Like this roster's not going to look the same at all come August. It's just not. Just based on like what you're saying, like guys getting exhausted or guys getting injured or call-ups coming up and making a name for themselves and things like that. The pitching staff's going to look different. Please God, no more injuries. Like, all right, baseball gods, we got it. Like,
Mhm.
we got the message.
Yeah, we get it.
Whatever it is we're doing, we got to change it, but like, I don't know. I don't want to say like it can't get worse because I feel like I've said that already.
Oh, it can absolutely get worse.
And it's only gotten worse when it comes to this shit. So strap in, dude. I think the first month of the season, if we can survive that, if we can get into mid-April, get into May, start to get some of these guys back, get Ha-Seong Kim back, start to get some of these pitchers back, get Schwellenbach back. If we can survive this stretch, like we can be okay. Last season, when we started 0-7 or 0-8, I don't remember which one it was. We started on the road. We started with the West Coast road trip, which the Braves and pretty much every Atlanta team, when we do a West Coast trip, doesn't always go very well, or usually doesn't. That one, we just couldn't win any fucking games. And that kind of set the season tone to be what it was, which was really bad. This year, we're starting at home against Kansas City. Kansas City's not awful, but they're not intimidating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially if we get to put Sale and Lopez out first.
I feel like Sale is going to make a good debut. Like right now, Sale is our best
Cy Young winner.
Fresh
off of Cy Young. I have all the confidence in the world with Sale. And then a fully fresh bullpen coming in that first game. I think we can win that first series against the Royals. Shout out to my friend Luke, who's from Kansas City, who's a big Royals fan, and I get to talk shit to him all the time.
Oh yeah, bro.
But anyways, I think we can win that. And again, you got to make it through this tough time. I'd feel a lot better if they went out and spent some money on some cushion, like a guy like Giolito. And there's other guys out there too they can spend some money on. Like they got a guy that I haven't heard of that they just signed today. Osvaldo Bido off waivers from the Yankees.
Okay.
So he's gonna replace Joey Wentz. So right-handed pitcher coming in. We'll see. I don't know much about him, but like they're trying to plug holes here. Hopefully the offense can carry us through most of this, man.
I do want to say, and this is very random, but you mentioned your friend being from Kansas City and being a Kansas City fan. I feel like baseball is the one sport where people are loyal to where they're from. It's a more regional thing. It's a more hometown thing. Like, I mean, in the South, like you got Mississippi, Alabama, and the Carolinas and Tennessee. Most people are Braves fans just because it's a South oriented thing. But I feel like
Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, like yeah.
But I feel like with baseball, you're more inclined to cheer for where you're from, and it's a more grueling thing. A lot of times you got to embrace the suck. Where with football, you can just watch, you watch fucking 17 games a season. You're like, oh, that's my favorite team. Even if you're not from there, you see that a lot. I feel like baseball is a lot more loyal to where you're from type of game. And I really appreciate that. So it's like, if you're a fan of the Kansas City Royals, good for you, because they've been a shitty team for a long time. They do have a World Series win. I think, what was it? 2010, 2011, something like that. But like, if you're a Royals fan, much like a Braves fan,
the Royals, I think, were 2014, no, 15,
Was it
2015.
that recent?
Yeah, they beat the Mets.
Okay, yeah.
They beat the Mets, and the next
I
year was the
remember when
Cubs.
they won. I just can't remember how recent it was. But
I think it was. I
but
think it
it's
was
like, you know,
2015.
if you're a Royals fan, much like Braves fan, you've had to embrace the suck a lot, because my entire
Mm-hmm.
life until they won the World Series, they were an irrelevant team for me.
Same here.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, even when they had Bo Jackson, they couldn't get anything done. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like, I feel like baseball has always been a more like true to where you're from sport. Like, you really do cheer for your home team when it comes to baseball.
I agree. Yeah, you don't meet a lot of like, I'm from Atlanta, but I'm a San Francisco Giants fan.
Yeah, you better fucking not be.
Whereas, like, you meet people that are like, I'm from Atlanta, but I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan.
Yeah, exactly. You see that all the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, all right. Well, I guess we are ready to wrap this up. This was a fun little episode.
It wasn't little.
It wasn't little. This is actually a longer one. But I feel like we're so entertaining that this probably felt like 5 minutes for you guys. You know, time flies when you're having a blast. And Jeremy and I, we are a blast.
Yeah, of course.
So if you ever want to see us in person being a blast, you can go see Jeremy at his. Oh, dude, go ahead and plug it, because I saw that you guys are hosting fucking professional wrestling the day before Easter next week.
Yes. Not this Saturday, but April 4th. Outrun Brewing Company come up. We got live wrestling in the parking lot. We got True Street Tacos. Completely free. Bring the family, bring the girlfriend, bring the homies, whatever you want to do. We got a great food truck that night. True Street Tacos. I had to shout them out because they're great people, great food. Come out and hang with us. Saturday, April 4th. Event starts at 7 o'clock. Bring a chair. Come in and get some beers. Come say what's up to me. Let's talk some Atlanta sports. We'll have baseball on one of the TVs. We'll have all kinds of wrestling shit going on.
I think I'm going to manipulate my schedule at work to where I can make that, because we're open late on Saturdays, but I might be able to finagle something. I might be able to work until like 4 o'clock and then come out there, because it starts at 6, right? Or 7?
I think it starts at 7 o'clock, but I would get there before then, because parking's going to be all up and down the street.
What's parking like?
Get there. Well, we're using our whole parking lot for wrestling. So, but there is parking all around the village that you can park at, and short walk. Come hang with us. Come get some beers. Joey, you got beers on me if you show up, of course. You and your wife. I don't know if she drinks beers, but anyways.
What about the kids?
Kids, free beers on me. I'm just kidding. Got to check IDs first. Okay. But yeah, come out Saturday, April 4th, doing some live wrestling, Outrun Brewing Company in Stone Mountain Village.
Going to be a good time. I'm going to do my best to make it. I really want to be there. Also, you can check out Jeremy's band Sunmancer, making some noise, writing some new songs. Check them out on all the streaming platforms. Check them out on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. That is the best spot to find us. It is ATOWN Rundown. We garnered some new views. Like, we saw a jump in our views. So I guess we're reaching some new audience. If this is your first time hearing us, welcome to the show. We're glad you're here. Like, subscribe, leave us comments. I would love to fucking, engage with you guys in some comments. You can call me out. I'm wrong a lot. I mispronounce things a lot. I drink a lot on this show, so sometimes things get lost in the Miller Lite haze. But I would say I'm at least 95% accurate on this show. At least 95% accurate. But you know what? Fuck ups happen. If they didn't, I probably wouldn't even be here. But other than that, check us out on Instagram at ATOWN Rundown. And have a good time. Have a good weekend. Enjoy what the Hawks are doing right now, because it's very special. Take care of yourself and drink some Miller Lite, and think of us.
Cheers. Taco!